Today we're going to cover group settings on the city from the view of a group leader or manager. Group settings are important because they obviously change different settings on groups, so I want to first show you where some of the settings will show up and why they're important. When a user goes to search for groups, you can see here that there is a list of groups at your church. They can sort by group type. So here you can see that a lot of the groups, or really all of the groups here, don't have pictures associated with their group. But if I click on this one that does have a picture, it obviously looks better on the group search page. And this one looks like all of their group settings are filled out. And I can tell this because it has an address, it has group tags associated with it. So I will show you today how to fill out the group settings so this user experience goes smoothly. So if you go into a group that you lead, the most obvious way to tell that you are a group leader in the group is by coming up to this icon, and if you can see the group settings, that means you are a group leader or manager. So here you can add that picture that'll show up on your group info page. If you want to add a group nickname, if your church is going to utilize the plaza and you want to feed directly to your group, you can add a nickname so that this is the link to any post that you publish to the plaza. A description is very important so that when somebody lands on your group info page, they understand what your group is about and the purpose of it. You can add a custom message for any invitations that are sent out. So if you don't want to have to retype a custom message into anybody you invite into your group, you can add a custom message there. You always have the option to delete that custom message and write a new message for that particular invitation. You can add an ideal size so that on the group map, your group would show as red, meaning that it is full. It doesn't mean that it doesn't allow anybody to ask to join your group, but it would at least show it as red. That next tab is the address tab. So it's very important that you include a public address so that your group can show up on the group map. If it's a group that you don't want a public address, you can mark it as private or that only members can see it. You can add multiple addresses as well, so you can make the public address just cross streets if you want, and then include as a private the actual address. The Options tab, you have the ability to shut off different posting types. How about I choose that it's not going to use albums. And then you also have the option to uncheck the ability to allow anybody to create topics. So if for some reason you only want leaders or managers to post in your group, then you would uncheck that option. By default, this option of automatically approving join requests is actually unchecked, which means that if any of your participants in your group invite somebody into the group, you would get an approval request as a leader or manager to approve that invitation. If it's a group that you want for people to just join automatically without you having to manage those approval requests, you can check it to allow it to automatically approve those requests. Under tags, you want to choose which group tags describe your group. So if I choose married, young, that we have a meal, and we meet on Wednesday evenings, that way people can search based on those tags and find your group. Linked groups allow you to link your group with another group to make it easier to share content. You also can choose it to auto-approve between the groups, meaning if you share content to a group, that group leader has to approve it. But if you, again, don't want that leader to have to approve it, you can set up an auto-approve between the two groups that are trusted information. Last tab here is promotions. So you can create a promotion, which is this promotion block down here, that people in your group would see as the promotion cycle through. If they click on it, it goes to a specific URL that you choose. So let's create a quick promotion for Coffee and Theology that I will host at my home on Saturdays this fall. So if I add the graphic, I copy and pasted the link from the event I created on the city because I want the promotion to point them to the event to RSVP. And I'm setting an expiration date for December 14th because I made it a reoccurring event through December 13th. And I'm going to leave all these options that everybody in the group would see, but you could change it to men only, or there's other options here. I create that. Now you can see that this graphic will show up for anybody that's in your group, and then they can click on it and it'll take them to the event. So now if we go back to the group info page for this particular group, one of the settings that I changed in the group settings was adding tags. So now you can see these tags are down here on that group info page. Looks like I still need to add a group picture, but other than that, if I want to link a group, then that would allow you to see that the profile is complete. But you don't have to link a group if you don't want to. So that completes the group settings. Once you see that your group profile is close to 100% complete, you can check that off your list and move on to the next thing to learn about managing groups on your city.